Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel Science for Everyone. This is a video number 6 about Streptococcus. Today we will study about the virulence factors and pathogenesis of Streptococcus. What are virulence factor? Basically, virulence factor are those proteins or components that are released by the bacteria, and these factors are making them more pathogenic, and they are helping these bacteria in spreading the disease and causing the disease. And what is pathogenesis? So pathogenesis is the potential of the bacteria to cause disease. So this is one of the most important videos among the this series, because if you came to know about the virulence factors and the pathogenesis of bacteria, so then we can easily detect that these diseases are caused by streptococcus. And so let's start with a video. So this slide is about a brief introduction, a brief introduction of the virulence factor, toxin, and enzymes of the Streptococcus bacteria. What are the toxins that are released by the Streptococcus species? Are the first one is the hemolysins, and as the name indicates, hemolysine, it can also be called streptolysin. O and S. So why it is called O and S? O and S. So we will come to know in a minute. Hemolysins are toxins produced by these bacteria that when they enter, they are released inside the host body. So they what they do, they disrupt the red blood cell of the host. So very much toxic and very much dangerous toxin are released by these species. The second one is the erythrogenic toxins, or the name indicates that what is a erythrogenic toxin. So I will give a detail about it, but now in the first we will just make an introduction. So erythro means red, and so those toxins that create redness to the body, to the skin. So these bacteria also release such type of toxins, and it is also known as streptococcal pyrogenic exotoxins, because it can also cause fever. So these toxin can cause fever, as well as these can cause rashes to the skin. And here there are three types of erythrogenic toxin: A, B, C, and mainly the A and C are the super antigens, and we will come to know what are the super antigens in a minute or two. What basically what they do, they promote hemolysis and dermal and subdermal, in the dermal and subdermal capillaries. So just like hemolysis, they can also, I can say that the pyrogenic toxin, mainly the B toxin, they can also promote hemolysis, and not just like hemolysin that can cause hemolysis, but it can promote it. It can cause in a certain environment to the hemolysin to create, to destroy the RBC. So keep in mind that erythrogenic toxins are very much dangerous, and these are the main toxin that can cause, sometimes due to these super antigens, they can also cause death to a person. And the skin, the rash on the skin, and it can also cause that. Coming to the enzyme, these were the two toxins. Okay, so remember it: hemolysins and erythrogenic toxins. And hemolysins are divided into hemocystolysine O and S. So we will come to know. The other is the enzymes. Enzymes are also produced by these bacteria, and it plays a very much major role in the disease causing. What are the the first enzyme is the streptokinase. It can also called fibrinolysin. Fibrinolysin mainly clear the blood clots. The blood clots, when certain blood clots are produced inside the body, so it can destroy these blood clots, and So due to this streptokinase, keeping this in mind that it clears the blood clot, so it simply means that due to this streptokinase, these bacteria can easily move from one place to another. For example, it causes a certain disease or a certain infection in the we can say in the skin. So due to the streptokinase, it can easily move from the skin to the other body parts by releasing streptokinase, and this streptokinase will clear up the blood clots in the way, and it can easily move from one place to another. The second one is the deoxyribonuclease. As the name indicates, that it destroy the host DNA. For example, when a certain cell is infected by a Streptococcus species, so they releases these enzyme, and it destroy the DNA of the host cell. So just looking to this function, it is also very dangerous. The second name of this enzyme is the streptodonase, and it is also called DNase as simple. The third enzyme is produced hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase is also, as the name indicates, what is hyaluronic acid? I have mentioned it in the earlier videos. These are certain proteins that are mainly present in the connective tissues. So these enzymes are released by the bacteria, and it destroys it. You can hydrolyze the proteins, and due to the destruction of these proteins, so as they are connective tissue connective present in the connective tissue, so while by destroying this hyaluronic acid, the bacteria can easily spread from one place to another. And the fourth one is the NADase, as the name indicates, the nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So we all know that NADH is a very much, I can say that, you all, I think you know it well about that. What is NADH? So very much essential component. It is also acting as a coenzyme, and it can also and a very much essential part of the vitamins. So by destroying it, it can cause very much abnormalities inside the body. It is also used in many chemical reaction in the we can say cycles, so that Krebs cycle, and we can say glycolysis, and electron transport chain. So by destroying it, it can cause very major abnormalities inside a person. The fifth one is the serum opacity factor. What is serum opacity factor? So serum opacity factors are certain proteins that can cause adhesion of the bacteria to certain cells. And the main function was mainly why it is called opacity serum opacity factor. So it causes opaqueness in the serum. When we add this serum opacity factor to a person's serum, so it can cause we can say dark color inside the serum, or not dark color, so it can coagulate, or it can say or create opaqueness in the serum of a person. So but the main function is that it can promote adhesion of the bacteria. So coming to the hemolysins, as I have mentioned, that it is also known as streptolysins. It produce a complete destruction of the RBC, and it contribute to tissue invasions and destruction. There are two types of streptolysins. Streptolysin O, that is sensitive to oxygen. It cannot work when oxygen is there, and the other is insensitive to oxygen. And what is the function of the hemolysin? That it causes destruction of the red blood cell. So now come to the erythrogenic toxin, also known as pyrogenic exotoxins or scarlatian toxin. Why it is called pyrogenic exotoxin? So pyrogenic, it causes fever in the host. So and it is also called scarlatian toxin because it can cause skin rash to a person. So that's why these two names were given to it. The primary effect of this toxin is the production of fever, hence also called streptococcal pyrogenic exotoxin, known as erythrogenic because it causes reddening of the skin. There are three types of this erythrogenic toxin, and A, B, C. So the A and the B are very much, I can say, very much dangerous, because these are acting as a super antigens, and super antigens are those antigens that when a normal antigens enter inside the body, so the immune cells recognize it, and phagocytose the phagocytose it and present into the adaptive the cells of the adaptive immunity. But a super antigens do not it cannot be phagocytized, and it is directly presented to the cells of the adaptive immunity, for example T cells and B cells. So there is a massive release of cytokines, because these super and these antigens are not properly regulated by the phagocytosis. So every type of cytokines are released, because the immune system is we can say that mimic that what type of antigens are these, so they release all type of cytokines. And cytokines are that certain type of proteins that are involved in signaling and the spread of the message of the immune system. So because of this massive release of cytokines, so there are inflammatory responses, and the smooth muscle constructions and contraction, and where other certain activities are taking place inside the body that is not good for a person. So there I will make also an other video about super antigen, but now just keeping in mind that these are the antigen, they can cause I can say that it can cause disruption in the immune system, and immune system is misleaded, and due to this misleading very much we can say बहुत ज़्यादा खतरनाक जो इवेंट्स है वो शुरू हो जाते हैं ह्यूमंस बीइंग में, जो just because of the very much release of the cytokine. So just because of this, so the A and the C pyrogenic exotoxin are super antigens, and the other the P antigen can cause fever and reddening of the skin. The other is the streptokinase. So what is streptokinase? Is also known as fibrinolysin. Fibrinolysin असल में ये क्या है, तो it mainly as the name indicates, so it can clear up the blood clots inside the human body. So when it clear up the blood clots, so the bacteria can easily spread from one place to another, can easily move from one place to another. So it is given one I want to share that fibrinolysin has also a very much important activity outside the human body. It can be made synthetically in the laboratory, and when there is a clot in the blood of the human being, for example he have a myocardial infarction, heart attack, or thromboembolic disorders, what these means that if there is a certain blood clot in the heart vessels, or in the arteries, or in the veins that are leading to the vital veins that are providing oxygen and blood to the brain, and there is a clot, so these fibrinolysins are given to the patient intravenously, and these enzyme move through the veins and clear up the blood clots. So here it is also a life-saving enzyme. But in when it is released by the bacteria, so it can cause the enzyme and the bacteria can easily spread, because it can clear the blood clots. The other one is the deoxyribonuclease or streptodornase, or it is also known as DNA, DNase. as the name indicates that it can degrade DNA. And the important function is that it is important therapeutically in liquefying localized collection of thick exudates empyema. What is empyema? Empyema is a certain disorder when there is a pus in the lungs. So it can we can say it can thinner up the pus that is inside the human body, because yeah, when जब हमारे साथ जो सेल्स होते हैं जो इन्फेक्टेड हुए होते हैं, तो उसकी डीएनए को ये कट करते हैं, इसको डिस्ट्रॉय करते हैं, एंड ड्यू टू विच द सेल्स आर directly killed, and the thick pus is converted into a thin pus. And it can also be we can say demonstration of anti-DNase antibody in the diagnosis. How it can be diagnosed, this point is mainly it should be added to the how these laboratory techniques, that how these we can say infection are ये किस तरह डिटेक्ट होते हैं, तो इसके अगेंस्ट एंटीबॉडीज लेबोरेटरी में तैयार किए हुए, जो अगर हम ह्यूमन को दे दें, तो इफ देयर इज दिस एंजाइम, सो it can be detected and the test will be positive. So this was the deoxyribonuclease that are produced by the bacteria. And and the other one is the hyaluronidase. So what is hyaluronidase? So it breaks down hyaluronic acid of connective tissues. एक ऐसा एंजाइम है जो hyaluronic acid व connective tissue के hyaluronic acid को destroy करता है, break करता है, which aids in the spreading of the infection. So these are antigenic and specific antibodies are formed and degrade capsule. All also we also know that our these एंजाइम इन ये जो हमारे साथ बैक्टीरिया है जब कैप्सुलेटेड है, तो the capsule is also composed of hyaluronic acid, so it can also degrades the hyaluronic acid of the bacterial capsule. And other enzyme are also produced by this bacteria, which include proteinases. Proteinases means that it destroy proteins. Phosphatases that it regulates or it destroy the phosphate bonds. Amylases, esterases, and NADases, and C5 peptidases, and lipases. So this was all about the enzymes and the toxins that were released by the bacteria. Now, just summarizing our lecture, that just looking to the first one is the Streptococcus pyogen, and it releases cytokines or pyrogenic exotoxin, cause various infections including the rash seen in the scarlet fever and streptococcal toxic shocks disease we have already discussed it. Looking to the second one, it releases streptolysin O and streptolysin A, and it damages mammalian cell resulting in cell lysis and release of lysozyme enzyme. It destroys the red blood cell. Or it can also streptokinase, so it can clear up the blood clots. C5 peptidase, C5A, we know that it is a protein related to complement system, so it can also disrupt the complement system, the action of the complement system. Streptodornase, what is streptodornase? So the bacteria, the enzyme that degrades DNA. And the hyaluronic acid hyaluronidase, it disrupts the organization of the ground substance, facilitating the spread of the infection. So this was all about the virulence factor that are released by the these are certain toxins and enzymes that are released by the bacteria and the streptococcal bacteria, and that can cause diseases. So I think you will now came to know कि आप समझ गए होंगे कि जो टॉक्सिन्स और जो एंजाइम है वो इसका क्या क्या खास रोल होता है. So you can easily now know that how these diseases form. If someone asks you that अगर आप scarlet fever का नाम भी बता दें आपको, तो आपको directly पता हो जाएगा कि it is caused by erythrogenic toxin. So it can the blood inside the skin is disrupted, and हमारे साथ बैक्टीरिया की फ्लो हुई है स्किन में, ड्यू टू विच इम्यून सिस्टम इवॉक हुआ है, और फीवर और रेश जो है स्किन में आई है। इस तरह अगर आप हम बता दें कि जो इसके इधर जो रेड ब्लड सेल की जो अमाउंट है वो कम हो रही है, और अगर आपको बता दें कि ये स्ट्रेप्टोकोकल इन्फेक्शन है, सो यू विल कम टू नो कि ये हेमोलाइसिन्स की प्रोडक्शन हुए हैं, तो इसीलिए ये सब कुछ हुआ है। Now come to the pathogenicity. So what is pathogenicity? So I include that pathogenicity is the potential of to cause diseases. So produce pyrogenic infection with a tendency to spread locally along lymphatics and through bloodstream. ये जब बैक्टीरिया एंटर हो जाती है तो ये लिम्फेटिक सिस्टम के थ्रू ब्लड स्ट्रीम के में एंटर हो जाती है, and causes suppurative diseases. What is suppurative disease? Those diseases that include पस फॉर्मेशन जो इसमें इंक्लूड होती है। तो रिस्पायरेटरी इन्फेक्शन में डिफरेंट इन्फेक्शन कॉज होती है, इन वी विल डिस्कस दोज इन्फेक्शंस इन द लेटर वीडियोस, एंड आल्सो इट कैन कॉज स्किन एंड सॉफ्ट टिश्यू इन्फेक्शन। जेनेटल इन्फेक्शन भी कॉज करते हैं। नॉन सुपरेटिव में that does not include pus formation, उसमें acute rheumatic fever है और acute glomerulonephritis है। We will also discuss this in the later videos. So just coming to the pathogenicity. So this is the diagram. Now we will explain it step by step. So these are the super antigens. Streptococcal pyogen will start from here. So these release super antigens, and the T lymphocytes are I have mentioned it that no such it is not engulfed by the phagocyte, and it is directly represented to the T lymphocytes. So a massive release of cytokines, and there is a toxic shock syndrome that include different symptoms. And now coming to the second one. So this streptococcus pyogenes enzymes are released, and local inflammation, invasion of the tissue. So what type of enzyme? Now you can answer this question that streptolysins are produced, and hemolysins are produced, and NADs are produced, and it can cause skin infection. Erythrogenic toxins are produced, and it can cause skin infection, pharyngitis, otitis media. We will later discuss these infection in the later videos. Now, Streptococcus pyogenes. The third one is the bacteremia. So, bacteremia means bacteria in the blood, and metastatic spread, and meningitis, and arthritis, and osteomyelitis. It can move to the we can say the central nervous system, and it can infect the meninges of the spinal cord. Arthritis, it can also move to the bones and the osteomyelitis. So this is just because of the blood flow, and how these are moving. They are releasing the fibrinolysins that are clearing the blood clots and moving to the different parts of the body. The third one is the just looking to the fourth one is the antigen, and this antigen is presented, and it is if it is correctly presented to the B lymphocyte and the T lymphocyte, so antibody immune complex formation, antibody formation, and post streptococcal glomerulonephritis and acute rheumatic fever. So if just summarizing it, that these all are the pathogenicity, that how when enzymes and toxins are produced, so how they move inside the body and how they cause infection. So this was all about pathogenicity and the virulence factor of the Streptococcus pyogenes. Hope you have Streptococcus species. Hope you have clear up your minds related to this. And if you have any questions, you let me know in the comment box. I will answer it there. And please like this video if you have really gained some knowledge from this video. So like it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. God bless you.